Mhm. I just thought I'd look at the book of Joel, even though it's not necessarily about swine, but it's the palm yes, in Joel chapter 1, yeah. Maybe chapter 1, chapter verse 1, yeah. The word of the Lord that came to Joel, the son of Pethuel. Hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Hath this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. See, there's four generations here. There's this generation, and then this generation. Yeah. And then that generation, and that generation. Now, that which the palmworm hath left, hath the locust eaten. And that which the locust hath left, hath the cankerworm eaten. And that which the cankerworm hath left, hath the caterpillar eaten. Now, it looks like there's a certain, well, animal kingdom, really. Yes. This has eaten that, and that has eaten that, and that has eaten that, and that has eaten that. Oh, awake, ye drunkards, and weep. Hope and howl, all you drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. For a nation is come up upon thy land, strong and without number, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and he hath the cheek teeth of a great lion. Oh. Now, let's say you're a dog, and you only eat swine. Pope, and your teeth are a little different than mine. See, this four generations, yeah, I think it's significant. Yeah. See, I'm the father of five sons, right? And I want them to have children, yes. And I want them to know about this, yes. And then I want to the fourth generation to know what you've done as a state. Yeah. Now, state of Washington, right now, you stupid fucks decided you weren't going to enforce the laws. For those in the National Guard that thought that I wouldn't put them in jail, I will. Then I'll investigate them, and if I find out you're a dog, yes, I'll put you in prison. Poop. Now, a lot of those that refuse to enforce the civil rights of American citizens, they do not realize the importance of not violating the laws. Now, there's this idea of breeding. Yes. My grandfather and grandmother on both sides of the family. Yes. Then there's my father's father. Yeah. And his father. Yes. And then who was the actual great grandfather of myself? Yes. Now, when it all comes down to just the genetics of myself and my sons, right, you decided to use my genetics to what? Well, it's more than a communication system, and it's not that I'm going to be a saint or I'm going to be holy. Yes, it's that what? See, somebody's been watching. Yes, the actual genetics of myself and of Heidi. Yeah, and we had five sons. Who was it that did not want me to know them and what they were doing? Oh, oh, oh. Now, this idea that I upset the synagogue of Satan, mid-level management of it, yes, they were not that smart. Poop. As much as they would think that they are Chicago, yeah, they were not that smart. I could kick their ass any fucking day right now. Now, there was some other individuals, yes, that shouldn't have been eating pork. Are there any Jews that are in the upper level management? Now it's back to the Treasury again, isn't it? The United States Treasury? Yes. Munchkin. And the new Secretary of the Treasury? Yes. See, yesterday we, yeah, had a little look at the penal code of the United Nations. Yeah. I think we've been spending more on the United Nations than what is actually being reported in the United States budget. Poop. Seemed to me it was about like 15, $16 billion. There's 100,000 peacekeepers. Yes. I'm thinking they're fired. Pooch. As much as they dislike the thought of being unemployed. See, if you do not have the support of the United States of America, I don't think they'll be able to afford peacekeepers anymore. Now, this is going to cause a big issue, yeah, little problem among all the nations that want to have wars, and the thought of, well, we just can't stop the war and put the United Nations in there. Do you remember that Kosovo conflict? Yes. I had actually been the host father of two exchange students from Kosovo. Now, they went to the Port Angeles High School. One of them went to Peninsula College. Yes. And that was a real war where the United States stepped in and then they said, okay, United Nations, you can take over. We're done fighting that war. Yeah. But what if you didn't have the availability of peacekeepers? Then it'd be nation against nation, wouldn't it? Yes. What if we had a little war right now? Oh, so sorry, you no longer have that. Are we really 22% of the annual budget of the United Nations? Ted Turner. Ouch. Rockefellers. Ouch. You know, our marriage certificate was issued from the United Nations, and as an individual that was married by the United Nations in Kosovo, I can actually sue each and every nation that has contributed any funds to the United Nations budget. Poop. Now, for all those other nations that thought that I wouldn't utilize the actual judicial system of their individual nations, see, I was a little surprised because I had read there's 119 members of this genocide convention that they signed. Yes, yes, yes. But only 74 of them had paid their annual dues to the United Nations. Now, when I did the addition subtraction, yes, looks like somebody hasn't been paying. Pooch, could you give me all of the in arrears right now, Sergeant? Now, I know you say you don't have any money as a nation, but you say that you're a member.